Shalom la Bachayim Shal Yash'Allah, which is peace be to the election of the nation of Israel, consisting of the 144,000 Nabiyah and the prophets, Ashim, the heats of the governing body that will rule Mashal, which is ruled by Hamalakwat in the kingdom by Shemayim in heaven, which shall be established here on earth. 12,000 the 12 tribes of Israel, alright, equal 144,000 men, alright, all men, giving, of course, all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yashai B'Shem Kodash. And double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Well, peace and salutation to the elect 1/3. That includes, of course, the elect of the Most High, whom are not prophets, but are believers as well, that the Lord is going to have mercy upon. I give a shalom to you. Shemya Mafa, my name is Amafa from the Great Millstone Plain Tables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. Abawa I'm Lamadi Ma'ait. I come with a lesson little, or we lesson. Alright, this we lesson is covering another, as you see, Brexit update, which Brexit equals the British exiting the European Union. The European Union, which in the scriptures is known as you go into the 10 horns, okay, when you read in the book of let me see, I believe when you go to Revelation, it speaks about it. Revelation, I believe, let me see, I have to look 13 and 17. Let me just make sure I double check. Let me see, I might check in the 17th chapter. Just doing this a real quick impromptu video on a Brexit, which is like one of my favorite subjects in the scriptures. Okay, yeah, which you read about that, the 10 horns in Revelation, the 17th chapter. Alright, what you see here, Revelation 17 and 12, and the 10 horns which I saw are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, shall give their power unto the strength unto the beast. Okay, and you go into the 10 horns, they are your European Union. Okay, which is those goes into your common markets, all right, spawning originally from the European Economic Commission, or known as the EEC, and you had, of course, the Treaty of Rome, which with the rebirth of this new Roman Empire, okay, you had come into fruition, okay, which you have the beast, which is NATO, okay, but you have most of these European countries are a part of NATO, okay, but the beast is NATO, all right, you go into EU, all right, now we have it, of course, you know, you read it 17:11, so Revelation 17:11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is of the 8th and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. And of course, you had of that you had of course Britain, all right, which America came out of course, Great Britain. All right, that's the mother of America. All right, being America being a colony. All right, let's go real quick to, let's see. I want to go specifically into this news though, and then go into it. Was just going through the spirit. UK and the EU agree historic Brexit trade deal. Okay, And I mean, this been going about for quite a bit of time. I remember I was just going to Scotland. Just had begun today that, and you had the whole Brexit thing at its beginning. That was about like 2016 when I was doing that. But let me see. Let me just get the article. Brexit. Yeah, is it Article 50? Let me see real quick. Which let me see. You have the whole withdrawal. All right, it's a treaty, right, of from the European Union. Okay, which Britain is of course a part of the European Union. Okay, which when you're part of the European Union, that allows you to have free trade, without any taxes and tariffs on top of that. That's one of the great benefits, that being in a single market. Okay, just so that you can know. But because of that comes at a cost, and that cost being you have to support these other lesser European states, okay, by contributing part of the nation, the Great Britain had to contribute to, of course, the European Union itself, okay, and that as Britain wanted more sovereignty and wanted, of course, to prosper outside of this union. Okay, so real quick, I'm just gonna go into this Brexit brief. I have other lessons that go into all these things. But you had a United Kingdom invocation of Article 50 of the Treaty of the European Union on the 29th of 2017. The UK European Union. All right, that's of course going into Scotland, England, Northern Ireland. I believe you go into Wales as well, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, invoked Article 50. Okay, with the withdrawal to the European Union, is the legal political process whereby an EU member state ceases to be a member of the European Union. Okay, Article 50 of the Treaty on the European Union states any member state may decide to withdraw from the Union in accordance with its own constitution. Okay. And you, of course, you could go into it. You had a referendum. You had pretty much a vote that happened, okay, on whether or not to leave. And that was back in 2016, right? To leave the union. Okay, they had a vote, and you had 52% of the so-called Great Britain to 48% voted in favor, being the 52% to leave the EU. You had, of course, your various people who want to remainers and Brexiteers. You can go into all of the different terms. Okay. In October of 2016, the British Prime Minister Theresa May announced that the Article 50 would be invoked in the first quarter of 2017. And, you could, of course, go into it. And Theresa May, who is no longer a prime minister, she stepped down due to the constant failure. I believe like about 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. And she bringing forth a deal, okay, to be passed by the Parliament, of course, in the United Kingdom, and wasn't able to come to agreement. And, of course, that frustrating her so many times that she ended up quitting. And then, along with so much other political stuff that occurred, you had a new prime minister, which is Boris Johnson, and he was able to, as you see at this time, able to, which we're in this was in the current time we're just leaving out of was this whole negotiation process in which they were negotiating the terms of them leaving, the union, on what are their future relations with, the EU would be, whether it's you leaving out and being under like WTO, World Trade Organization, having striking a deal, which they did. They was able to strike a deal where they don't have any tariffs. But we have to go into more in that. As you see right here, let me see where they got the transitional period, which we're currently in, and they had many different extensions, to this deal. They broke a lot of their different words in which they had claimed about they're gonna be a time to have this pass by. This is going to show you how it's all politics and it's all on the Lord timetable anyway. It's perfect, that we're going into 2021 with them which they already, the Brexit already happened. It's just them with this whole transitioning period. During the whole transitioning period, you had it where they had they were still being Great Britain, still under, of course, certain EU laws and such, and transitioning out of that. So let's just get into this a little bit, and then we're gonna get into the Daniels, which this site is not letting me read this article, so I'm gonna go to original article and go from there. Let's see. So long and thanks for all the fish. UK announces historic Brexit trade deal. It says after a 30-minute delay, this was published on the 24th. Extremely exalted, pale-looking Boris Johnson, who's the prime minister, that's like equivalent to like your president, in the United States, finally walked out of the podium and confirmed that the British people, that have, after 4.5 years, a Brexit trade deal has finally been reached. One that was according to Bojo. And you had like the threat of there being a no deal, them leaving the union without a deal. Strike. But they came to a deal. It says it leaves the UK with control over its own laws, markets, and importantly, waters. Because when you're within the European Union, and you have to abide by these various European laws, as with these other weaker nations, and you have it where you had the whole free movement, in which people were able to freely move within any member state, and you have poorer states, which like Poland, you could go move over to Scotland, and you had a lot of people that just would rally for nationalism, and they didn't want these different other E's, even though you have Jake scattered, dispersed throughout these other nations. They didn't want other so-called nationals from other places within their country, and that's another reason why it feuded. People were voting to leave the the EU, so that they can more so care for their own, more attention to their own, but without being it within this union. And they had to share with the waters is less than 1%, I believe, when you go into the fishery and stuff issue. So it says among other aspects, So they'll be able to actually strike now their own deals, being Great Britain now due to this deal that they have. Okay, but still they have access, which we're gonna get into. Let's just go into it. It says Bojo didn't offer much details except the subjects over fisheries. He proclaimed that the first time since 1993 we will be independent coastal state with control over our waters. To help the UK fishing industry adjust, Bojo said he secured a £100 million chunk of cash to help monetize British fishing fleets. According to details leaked earlier, the UK will retain a higher share of annual catch from its waters, at least until the deal expires. As for the third-party arbitration clause mentioned below, Bojo explained that the stimulus of more regulatory competition will benefit us both, and that the complaints will only be lodged infrequently. Finally, before jumping into his litany of thank yous, the Bojo proclaimed the deal makers had succeeded in squaring the circle and finding Philosopher's Stone. But most importantly, the deal certainly for the British people badly battered like the rest of the world by this. You see the actual pestilence. It says critics already drawing up their complaints about the deal regulating too much economic control still to the EU. Still, there will be no palisade of tariffs, okay, on January the 1st, okay, these different taxes, right? Instead, there will be a giant free trade zone, okay, so they still got access to the single market that the UK will at once be a member, okay, while still being able to do their free trade deals, okay, so they want to be out, they pretty much just wanted to have more sovereignty, okay, on their own, okay, but you know they still having the deal in a single market, having no taxes on their goods, because one of the biggest issues of being if they were to leave without a deal with them, then all of the goods coming within the Great Britain from these other countries, you know, they would be taxed, okay, and so that will, of course, that will suffer, their economy. That'll suffer the people, higher costs on goods and such coming into the country and stuff. All right, so them having a free trade zone, they can trade freely without them tariffs. All right, that's simply put, together with the entire United Kingdom. It says, and vice versa. By the way, it says we're still waiting to hear from Frost Bojo, but former Theresa May, who is still a member of Parliament, by the way, I know that, but brothers should know that too. Okay, has confirmed now that a deal has been reached. Very welcome that news that the UK and the EU has reached agreement on the terms of a deal, one that provides confidence to business and keeps trade flowing. Looking forward to seeing the detail in coming days, and there's a lot of these different things with a lot of business being done. And you had, of course, borders, the whole issue with borders with the whole Northern Ireland issue, okay, with possible borders being set up because of them leaving the EU, which I still have to go and check. There will have to be so-called tariffs. Or not so-called borders, to check what goods are coming within, the country. Okay, you being outside, we got to check all that, but that would have been an issue. But anyway, we just gonna go on. It says I have to even go and check into that and see what the update is, because it's been quite a bit since I checked on that particular aspect of it. A lot of it they sweep and under the rug, but whatever. It says we're still waiting for a briefing to start. Let me see anything else. I want to see if they got like a wee outline on the whole thing. Is there an outline somewhere? I remember I went on Sky News. I might have it up on Sky News. Yeah, that's right. Because I was looking into this yesterday. Well, this actually is an older article. Let me just go into another one. This is like mainstream, by the way, Sky News. And then I should just read their, the scriptures already spoke about Brexit. I don't know what's going on with my internet. But while that's not going anywhere, I'm going to try to attempt going into Daniel, the 2nd chapter. And going straight to the point, directly into the point. Okay, it starts around, this is the point being around 43. And, this kingdom talks about this Roman Empire. And even Blue Letter themselves put these new headliners now. All right. Like you have in your Bibles. It says, "In the 4th kingdom shall be strong as iron." Okay. And that's, the 4th kingdom is talking about the Roman Empire. Okay. For as you go into Daniel, you have, the iron. Okay. Which we're in right here. Iron. It's like the iron, going to the legs and such, right? Yeah, the skirt was like a brass. I know the head was gold, with going into was it the Babylonian? Then you got the Medo-Persian. What's that? The silver. All right. So just going into it, these are the major kingdoms. It says, "In the 4th shall be strong as iron." And you go into the history, the Roman Empire, their military strength. They had much success due to having iron weapons and such. All right. As far as iron breaketh in pieces, and so do all things, and help them, of course, conquer and win. Against other, adversaries and such who they absorbed or conquered and made There's not but tributaries. It says, "In iron that breaketh all these shall break in pieces and bruise, and where as though thou sawest the feet and the toes part of potters, clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest iron mixed with the miry clay." Verse 42, "And as the toes and the feet were part iron and part clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken." Okay, and this speaks about, of course, the Brexit was within this Roman Empire, with, of course, you have these various European member states. Okay, your 10 toes and such. You have strong nations which are economically strong, such as starting with you have Germany, you have of course Britain and France. Okay, just to name some of the stronger nations. And then you had weaker nations. Okay, and you could just refer back to Pigs economic, which Pigs goes into I believe Portugal, Italy, Greece, and S might be I gotta go check back if it was Spain. Pigs economics. And this was one of the reasons why you had a debt crisis, right? You had this is one of the reasons why it would feud the stronger nations such as Britain to want to leave this union, okay, which is known as the European Union. Okay, so let me see if I could go into how much money does each EU member state contribute. All right, so this is something. How much money does each EU member state contribute? All right, going to the budget for the European Union. Okay, so you have it. This is off of Statistica, right? Which speaks about amount contributed to the budget of the European Union (EU) in 2019 by member states. Okay, you have Germany. All right, you have, and this is as of 2019, France, and then you have Italy. Okay, you have United Kingdom, and then you have Spain. So you can see that Germany contribution to the budget of the European Union was 25.82 billion euros, the highest of any EU member state. France was the next highest to contribute 21 billion euros, followed by Italy, okay, in the UK with 14 billion euros. Okay. Well, this is one of the main reasons why, and then you can see also, Slocky, I didn't cover that, but you can see the rest of the other, let me see if they have the other member states, which less of their budget, as I mentioned, one, Poland, okay, you have all these other, Ireland, Finland, let me see, hold up, Belgium, Austria, contributing less, okay, so you have the partly strong, all right, and partly weak, okay, in which said that's a more reason to feud them for leaving this, okay, the whole union, okay, because they want to be able to strike their own trade deals and do it. There's a possible trade deal between the United States and Britain, but yeah, and they can, I don't know the super specifics, but I believe now they don't have to pay that money to the European, because they're outside of that. Yeah, they will be outside of that EU budget now, have to contribute their money, to the EU budget to help support, various things within. Let me see. We'll just get that. Let me show you something real quick. What does the EU member budget go towards? So as you see, the EU budget, right? This is just a basic. It says currently the largest share goes on creating the growth of jobs and reducing economic gaps between between EU's various regions. Agriculture, rural development, fisheries, environmental protection also account for a major share. Okay, that's what, going into speaking about, where is this money going towards? Okay, and you have it where, like, some people be like, well, I want my money to go towards, something more better for our country and not for their country or other member states. Okay, so just going into that, these are just things you can look into, on your own if you want to more better get a more greater understanding of it. All right, of this whole Brexit and prophecy that has been fulfilled. Okay, because they left the EU already, and this was just a transitional period, and it's written in the scriptures. All right, so I pretty much want to leave it at that. I mean, they think that this gonna be, they're gonna have so much success, but the Lord's about to destroy their whole set up, okay, that they got. And this is in some news right here. I'm gonna show you this news right here too, that I didn't get to go into. You have 100 trucks still stranded in the UK as French have the pestilence testing rule spark chaos. France announced the reopening of borders of the UK on Tuesday, ending the 2-day closure prompted by fears of fast spreading. They got a new variant mutation in England. All right. As a result, the borders were shut down. Thousands of lorries, all right, are you going to your trucks? We call them lorries over there in the UK. Stranded in the UK, while France's new public health measures require drivers to be tested before entering the country. Of course, you got, I have backlash from the various drivers having to have to take some rapid PCR tests, and such, But you know, you had a lot of these goods and such. And scriptures talk about a man shall desire to enter a city and shall not be able to. Okay, and I still have to go and check into seeing, you know, what other stipulations that goes with this new the actual deal that they have. How it affects, you know, whatever, if any borders were set up or anything, you know. But this leads to, you know, a lot of things happening: famine, death, you know, insurrection, etc. But you know, just something to go across and such. All right, so that's pretty much the lesson. You know the Apostle Tahar, he recently put like a little video, you know, which is just the spirit. One of his recent videos, Brexit written in the Bible or something. I believe the title was that was the headline and such. Just striking the question, perhaps to provoke, you know, brothers to good works and doing the lessons on it, because it's a prophecy you know, not many really talk about, you know, but has to be covered, you know. So with that, you know, I want to give all praise, honor, glory, Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shem, Kodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who were all Shalom again.